Speaking of the task force that you were a part of or that you headed up that did this investigation, can you kind of break down who all was involved in the task force and what they did before you guys started detaining people?
Yeah, so first thing that we did was we built a team, and we wanted to make sure that because recall that our primary objective was to address and see if we could figure out what happened in Biggie's murder. So our objective was get to the truth of what happened with BIG. And so we built a team, and we thought, well, we better expand this team beyond the boundaries of the LAPD, get the resources of the feds, and in the event that we're exonerated, if we discover that the allegations against the LAPD aren't true, it's best to have this transparent body, this transparent investigative body, all saying the same thing. So if it turns out that the LAPD didn't have anything to do with it and the claims and the lawsuit are untrue, you've got the U.S. Attorney, the FBI, the DEA, the ATF, the Sheriff's Department, the LAPD, everybody going, hey, we worked collaboratively on this, and we all came to the same conclusion. So that was the intent of getting a bunch of people involved. And at one time, I think we were up to 16 different people. We had guys from the ATF that were going to handle things that were gun related. We have guys from the DEA that were going to handle things that were drug related. We had guys from the FBI because they were going to bring in their resources and also bring in their old racketeering case that they had worked on previously. So everybody just brought their own resources to the table. We worked collectively as a team and came to the conclusions that we came to. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, you did. And the point I'm trying to get to is, for many years, people have called this quote unquote the Greg Kading theory. What I'm trying to, let our listeners know is that this, while you did put out the documentary and you put out the book, the investigation was a wide group of people. It wasn't just you, correct?
That's correct. I was the first one to retire and be in a position to go public with it. So that's why I'm kind of the face of that theory. But you're right, it was not me. It was a collective group of people working together. I didn't solve this alone. There was a bunch of different people adding and contributing, and we all came to the conclusions collectively. So no, I just happened to get the recognition as a result of being the one who first put it out there and went public with it.
Okay. For the people that are just now getting into this case and they're just now kind of researching it or kind of listening and doing their own kind of reading up on it, can you explain to us the difference between getting immunity and the Proffer agreement? Because Keefe D got the Proffer agreement. Can you just explain the differences of the two agreements?
Sure. Immunity is where you cannot be prosecuted. You're immune from prosecution. A proffer agreement is simply an agreement where you have Fifth Amendment rights, self-protection, self-incrimination protection rights. And it's within the context of that immediate scenario. So when Keefe D comes in and we say, do you want to cooperate? And he says yes, and he knows that what he's going to be telling us is incriminating, he's going to admit to being involved in criminal activity, that he says, I'm going to tell you all this stuff, but you can't then turn around and use that against me, right? That's right. We won't use what you said against you. But if this guy in the other room tells us that you are involved, we'll use that information. Or if you violate any of the conditions of this agreement, by lying about anything during this conversation, then it's all off the table. Then you don't have any protection. So that's it. It's just a simple thing where a guy can sit down and be comfortable knowing that what he tells you won't be used against him. It's kind of like calling somebody to the stand who you want to ask them questions, but in answering the questions, they're going to say, yeah, I was with him when he did it. So they might plead the fifth. And so this is very similar to that, except he will answer questions without the fear of us using the information against him. It's just self-incrimination protection. It's not immunity. Completely distinct and separate things.